Cheap Not Broke fam, thank you for tuning back into the channel. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Each and every subscription helps. Hit that button. Cheap Not Broke fam, we are back. We are back. Thank you all for tuning into the channel. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get on into it. Let me turn this down.
Let's get on into it. Oh man, what the hell is going on with my sound? Can they hear me? Can you hear me?
Well, we're in here. Anyway, thank you all for tuning back to the channel.
Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Each and every subscription helps. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers.
So if you could subscribe,
That would be great. And if you could tell somebody else to subscribe, that would be great as well.
so thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. All right, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday. Hopefully you were with us last night for the Wednesday night rant.
You know, I was ranting
About spring cleaning, getting your stuff in order. But tonight is another night, a new night. And tonight, I touched on it yesterday. But damn it,
it's my home state, and I had some time to think.
and I had some time to do some research. I had to do some research. We're going to talk about these child labor laws in Florida.
Because if one state does it, all states will do it.
So,
You know, Florida.
Ron DeSantis, he's
Not the greatest. We're ready to elect somebody else. We really are. And Florida is a red state. I can't think of the last time Florida has had a Democratic governor.
when was the last time Florida's had a Democratic
Governor. I don't know, but damn it, they need one. They need somebody
because this here ain't it.
this whole child labor law thing is not it. That's not it. So if you haven't heard, if you're not aware, Florida, the great state of Florida, is proposing have children under ages 16 and 17
Work up to 30 hours a week and work at night, which is a terrible idea. I don't think that's good. Florida's pushing changes to child labor laws that could put youngsters at put young workers at serious risk.
Now, here's what we got. Here's what we know. Key provisions called HB 49 and SB 1596.
That's what it's called.
Now, extended working hours. The bill proposes allowing 16 and 17-year-olds to work more than 8 hours on a school night and to begin working as early as 5:30 a.m.
Wait a minute.
16 and 7-year-olds to work more than 8 hours on a school night and to begin work as early as 5:30 a.m. and end as late as midnight. Increased consecutive work days. Employers could schedule these minors to work more than 6 consecutive days without rest. Elimination of break requires. The legislation will remove mandates of breaks during work shifts for 16 and 17-year-olds.
Nah, hell no.
Proponents, including Governor DeSantis, argue that these changes would address labor shortages.
So this isn't about the teens.
This ain't about the kids. This is about big business. He's not doing this on their behalf. He's doing this to get cheap labor for big business. And support parental rights by allowing families to decide their children's work schedules. Critics, however, expressed concern that such deregulation could lead to exploitation of vulnerable youth, particularly in those from low income and migrant backgrounds. You damn right. This is for poor people. Poor people. People with no money. Those are the folks that are going to be impacted by this the most. That's who's going to, because let's be honest, your people, like I said yesterday, your people got a little money, they got a little money, you're not doing this. You're not getting on this. If your people got some money, You're not participating in this. This is for poor people with no money. Okay? Look, I already know that guy. I know my parents, they weren't going for that. Hell no. You're going to put school first. You are not about to be putting work. You're not about to be working and putting work over school. Like, no. And whatever job you have is a crap job. You're a teenager. You're not getting no job where you can move up, become a manager by 24. No, they're not having it. So you're going to be working for somebody, going to be working the hell out of you. Cheap labor. That's what they want. That's what they're looking for. And on top of that, you're probably going to have some piece of shit manager who's going to want you to work you late night, midnights. And let me tell you something like this. They will probably favor working the teenagers more than the grown people. Because grown people, they're going to get lawyers and sue. Teenagers, maybe not as much. Because you know if a kid's working here, his family don't have no money. His family, look, if your parents making $200,000-$300,000 a year, you're not working these kind of hours. Because they probably understand, listen, you need to get the rest. You need to get some sleep so you can do well in school. Because if not, you're going to be stuck working these kind of jobs forever. Now, as I was speaking about it before, who's going to hire these kids? Because let's be honest. Who stays open that late till midnight? Fast food. No retail. Retail doesn't stay open that late. It's fast food. There's only so many places you can work that time of night. Most places are closed. Most places shut down. Me, where did I work in high school? I laid grass. I did that during the summertime, so that didn't matter. But that was like a 12-hour day. Ugh. But the money was good. And I didn't have to do it. If I wanted to quit, I could quit. But I needed that money for the summer. I wanted that money. I didn't need it. I did. I needed the money. I was poor. I was a poor teenager. I needed the money. So I worked laying grass for the summer. That was a long job. I was working like 12 hours doing that. Also, I worked at, not Sears. I worked at Winn-Dixie, a grocery store. Worked bagging groceries. Only on Saturday and Sundays. That's the only time I work. You can work up to 6 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. So I was only getting what? I don't know. 10 hours, 20 hours every 2 weeks. Nothing. Pennies. Not no real money. I worked there bagging groceries. And then I also worked at, where else did I work? I worked at Texas Roadhouse. So most of my jobs were in the summer. I didn't have a job in school and until my senior year. The only time I worked was my senior year. I worked a little bit longer. I worked during the week. During track season, the track came first. I'm like, here's my track schedule. Now, if you schedule me to work during a track meet, I'm not coming. So I made that clear during the interview. I said, listen, so I can work, but this is my track schedule. So I will not be putting work before my track meets. My track meets are during the week. Sometimes on Saturday. Track meets happen all during the week. Football, so I didn't work during football season. Took up too much of my time. Too tired to do it. Track season, only my senior year, only my last year, I worked during track season. And then, a couple times it was like a practice. They wanted me to come and miss practice. I'm like, I'm not about to miss no practice. I'm not doing that. So that's it. And where else did I work during high school? I worked at Texas Roadhouse. I had a summer job. I had a job at a summer camp. I was working at a summer camp. I worked at Texas Roadhouse. Worked at summer camp. I worked at through a temp agency. I worked for Sears. Doing planograms for Sears. I did that for a little bit. And I worked at Staples. So I had about 6 jobs in high school. First one being laid grass. And then I worked at Winn-Dixie. Then I worked at Texas Roadhouse. I worked at the summer camp. Then I worked at Staples. So I had about 3-4 jobs. Yeah, that's the jobs I had. And none of those jobs worked till midnight. I wasn't about to do that. Like I said last night, I did have a job. Restaurants will work you. Now, the restaurant will work you late. The restaurants I did work at, not the ones I quit. I worked at a place called Old Charlie's. I don't remember what the hell they sell. What does Old Charlie's sell? I got to look it up. Old Charlie's. I worked there for a day. And then I worked at a Japanese restaurant, hibachi spot for a day. They wanted me to work with no break. I'm like, nah, I'm not working this long with no break. I don't need the money that bad. No, I'm not doing it. So, and I also had parents who weren't going to let me do that. My parents were like, no, you're not about to do all that. No. You can do what you want in the summertime because you ain't no school. But school, no. Because no school, no money. School's where the money is because you got to get skilled. You need a skill. And teenagers are unskilled labor. That's why you want them, because they are cheap. They're cheap labor. And like they're saying, they're using teens to replace the immigrants because Florida sent everybody home. Y'all should have kept a couple immigrants around to do this work. I know every state, like, we're not doing that. California, they're not sending all their people home. New York is not sending all their people home. I bet Miami still has migrants, whatever you want to call them, migrants, immigrants, people who are here people here illegally, whatever. They're still here. They're still going to do the work. So, everybody's not sending all them people home. Let's not that. Come on, y'all not about to send everybody home because you're not going to have enough work. Some of them jobs people just aren't going to do. Some jobs you're not going to get anybody American to do. And unless they have teenagers, come on, you know how teenagers act. They're very irresponsible and they like to party and have fun. You don't think them teenagers not going to call out of work? Man, listen, it's Friday night. They got me on the schedule till midnight. Man, fuck that. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not working. I'm going about my business. I'm going to party tonight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to party tonight. And that's exactly what they're going to go do. They're going to go party, have fun, and enjoy themselves. The people are not about to do it. Like, come on, man. The only place, I'm just trying to think. Drop a comment. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to think where teenagers can work outside of fast food that late. Retail is not working that late. Retail job, the mall, whatever the case, you're off by 9 o'clock. Out of there by 9:30. You ain't got to do that much. Now, Burger King, McDonald's, they'll keep you there that late, but they don't pay much. Who wants to do that? They can't work there. I'm just trying to think. Where else can you work? I'm only thinking fast food. That's it. You can't work at a Target. You can't work at a Walmart. You can't work nowhere that late. You can't. You got to go home. Because the store's closed. The store is closed. And two, teenagers don't really have a skill set. They're not really skilled, And you can't really teach them anything because they're going to be there for it. They got school. And I think they're trying to get these people to prioritize school over work. And that's just stupid. Plain ass dumb. Because look, how are you going to get into college? If you want to go to college, even if you want to go to trade school, you still need to do well in school somehow. Now what? Now what's going to happen with these kids that are working? Are you going to change the curriculum on how you're grading them? Because what? I know in Florida, you still got to pass the FCAT. The FCAT is the state test. It's a state test that you got to take. You got to pass it to graduate. So what if a person's working 30 hours a week? Are you going to give them an exception? And then what about the parents? The parents, you got your kid out there working. What's he working for? Why would a teen need to work and make all that money? You're in high school. What do you need? Unless you're helping out your family, I get it. Yeah, you got to help out around the house. But damn it, you can't help out that much if you're passing up on your education. Nothing that you're going to get out of high school, no job you can work in high school is going to pay more than you can get a skill set for. What do I mean? Whatever kind of job you do in high school, you don't have to be skilled in it. They're just hiring you because you're a body, you're cheap labor, and they know they can get you to work. So they're going to hire you to do the job. But whatever job you're doing is not going to pay more than somebody with some training, somebody with some education, somebody went to college, went to some type of job program, management trainee program. They're not going to do it. And then here's the thing. What happens if you got some asshole manager that keeps putting you on the schedule? Like, look, I told you I'm not working that late. I can only work till 9 o'clock. So they put you on the schedule. What are they going to do? Fire you? Some people are not going to want to lose their jobs. Some kids really need these jobs because they're trying to help out at home. So they're going to put work before school because they need the money. Here's what I do know. In the great state of Florida, there is no public transportation. Public transportation in Florida is ass. There is no public transportation. So if your family, if you don't have a car or your parents can't come get you, how are you supposed to get back and forth to work? And then you want kids on the streets at midnight, you get pulled over by the cops, they harassing you, now you got a whole nother situation on your hands. And then what happens if they mistreat these kids? You're going to have to sue. But with the laws being so lax, the state's probably not going to do nothing. The labor lord is going to have to tighten up on these employers. I think this is a terrible idea. I think this is really, really bad. These kids ain't about to do that. They're not about to work that late. I mean, how am I supposed to progress in life if I'm working till midnight? And this is what you're starting at 18, 19 years old. You never get those years back. Those are the years you're supposed to go out, enjoy yourself. I understand you're supposed to work, but damn it, not working no 30 hours a week. You're like a grown person. You don't qualify for no apartment. You're not getting any credit. You're not building your credit score. What are you doing? What are you doing working this job besides just working your life away? I don't know. I really think this is they're gonna exploit kids. They're really sure gonna exploit kids, and it's only gonna be certain type of kids do it. Kids from local income families. Some kids are gonna do this without their parents even knowing. And then this is an excuse for you to go stay out and do what the hell you want to do. Oh man, I gotta work till midnight. You know damn well you know how that work. I used to do it sometime like, oh man, I gotta work till midnight. I gotta work till 9, 10 o'clock. Man, I get off at 7. I be going to hang out with my friends and going to do something else. Now I got my work clothes on because I got off early, and then I still go home around the same time. 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah. Because when I was working, what was my work schedule? I worked in college too. I worked on Saturdays. I worked from like 9 to 3. I worked like 6 hours. I didn't do no 8-hour shifts in high school. Not only during the summer, not during the school year. I didn't know 8-hour shifts. So in high school, at Staples, I was probably working 15 hours a week. Probably working like Monday, 2 days out of the week. And maybe 2 days a week. And then the last day on Saturdays, I didn't work on Sundays because the church, my parents wouldn't let me work on Sundays. So Sundays was out the deal. No work for me on Sundays. Saturday, yeah, I work like 9 to 3. Definitely not 9 to 5. I remember I wasn't working 9 to 5. Like 9 to 3. And then on Sunday, and then during the week, I work 5 to 9. So I work 5 to 9, 2 days out of the week. That's 8 hours, plus that's 6. And that's what I had. So I was working about 14 hours, getting 28. That's it. But I'm telling you, man, these people are going to be mistreating you. You got grown people at these jobs that don't give a damn. Now you got these people co-mingling with these teenagers, trying to influence them. I know what it's like. And then, the kind of people you're working with at these jobs, they're not the greatest. They're not the greatest kind of job. Man, you're going to have mess, I don't know, especially like teenage girls. You're going to have grown men trying to talk to them on the job, especially y'all working 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's just you and them. It's you and some grown person, 27, 30 years old, working with a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All kind of stuff can happen. You put them at risk. And not only that, you need time to sleep and study. You want to do well in school. School's your way out. Especially in Florida. Florida has the Bright Future Scholarship. So if you do well in school, I think a 3.0 or better, I think they'll pay for 50% of your college, 3.5. You get a 4, you get a full ride in the state of Florida. You can go to any school you want. State will pay for it. So you're going to ruin those opportunities because you're not going to get the opportunity to get the grades to go to school. You're not going to make the grades. You're just not. You're not going to make the grades. It's going to be tough. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Really to hear about it. Hey, super chat $2 from Phyllis Hall. Thank you. Hello, son. Got the super chat. Oh, all right. Let me see. Super chat from Phyllis Hall, $2. Hey, got my first super chat. Thank you. And it was my mom. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, my mom can attest to this. She was there with me. She was there when I was in school. I worked. I like to work. And they got me on the track of working. My parents did allow me to work. They encouraged me to work. But at no point in time was work going to jeopardize school. If my grades slip, no school. No work. Even in sports, your grades not good. You're not playing sports. Well, I don't know about that. But I kept my grades up, kept everything up. Like my last year of school, I had no problems. You can have my parents. They had no problems out of me. My last 2 years of school, they had no problems out of me. 8th grade, yeah, I was messing up in 8th grade. 8th grade, I was out there. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I thought I was that dude in 8th grade. But in high school, no problem, because my whole focus was getting a football scholarship. Trying to go play football, get up out of here. I wanted to play on Saturdays. I wanted to play on television. That was my whole goal. My everything revolved around that pigskin. Trying to play football. I wanted to go play for the University of Miami or Florida State. No Florida. Wasn't going to Florida. I went to UCF before I went to Florida. Well, I ain't gonna lie. If I got an opportunity to go play for the great state, go play in that SEC, I was going. I ain't gonna lie. I was going. But Florida State and Miami were my first choices. But that was all I was focused on was sports. Now, my senior year, I did work at Staples, as I said, because I knew I was heading off to college and I needed the money. So that's what I did. I worked, but like I said, I wasn't working that many hours. And let me tell you a quick story. So right before I left, I had this manager. His name was Bob. Bob was cool. But then I worked all summer. I worked 2 jobs that summer. When I graduated, I got another job at Toyota. So I was detailing cars, working from 7:30 to 3:30. 7 to 4. I was working from 7 to 4, and my senior year, that summer, not my senior year, yeah. After I graduated, I was working from 7 to 4 at Toyota, and then I got off at 4 o'clock, and I went to my second job from 5 to 9. So my senior year, my last year of school, getting out of school, I was working 8 hours, 8, 10, 12-hour days. I was working from, no. 9 to 9. Yeah, I was working from 7 to 7. Now 7 to 4. That's 8 hours. I was working 12 hours because I was working 2 more hours. 8 plus 4 is 7. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 7 hours. No, 12. 7 to 4. I was working 7 to 4. And then I came back and worked 5 to 9 at Staples. That was my schedule. Now, I wasn't in school at that point. I graduated. I was heading off to college. So, didn't matter what I was doing. But at the same time, man, them people don't pay you no money. What are you going to make? Minimum wage? I know they're not going to pay you nothing like $10, $12 an hour. And then no lunch break? Who's working 8 straight hours with no lunch break? Who's doing that? I won't even do that to this day. I'm not working nowhere. 8 straight hours, no break. Nope. I'm going home hour 7. So that means you got me from 8 to 4 because I'm going my ass home. I'm not working straight out. I'm not working 8 hours straight. You crazy. You stupid. You sound dumb. I'm not doing that. But child labor laws have always been trash in this country. At one point in time, you had the kids working in the mines. They were working them long hours. Kids were getting sick, getting dust in their lungs, all kind of stuff around there. So the child labor laws in America have never been good. Never been good. Let's take a look. Let's read some stuff. Early industrial era. In the 19th century, in the early 20th century, it was common for children to work in factories, mines, and mills under hazardous conditions. Public awareness of these dangers grew, leading to calls for reform. National Child Labor Committee, established in 1904, played a pivotal role in advocating for child labor reforms, conducting investigations, and pushing for legislative changes. Keating-Owen Act, 1916. This was the first federal law aiming to regulate child labor by prohibiting interstate sale of goods produced by underage workers. However, it declared unconstitutional in 1918 in the case of Hammer versus Dargett. Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, in 1938. And this landmark legislation established nationwide standards including minimum ages for employment and restrictions on working hours for minors, effectively curbing exploitative child labor practices. Now, look, let's be honest. If you don't have if your family or your parents are not fighting on your behalf, you're going to get screwed over. You're going to get screwed over. So that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Oh, I meant to say, hey, Mom, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And you found where the super chat was because we were talking about it. Now you know what it is. All right, great. Now, everybody else, go find the super chat, please. Please go find the super chat. I appreciate that. Go find the super chat for your boy. Go find the super chat for your boy. Now, back to what I was talking about. Child labor laws. Like I said, they've always, because kids can't really defend themselves. Not like a grown person. A grown person gonna get a lawyer, sue your ass, take you to court, and drag you through the mud, go get workman's comp. Child labor law, you need your parents. Now you got a whole workforce of people who really can't defend themselves, don't have no rights. And whoever's gonna be working these employers, let me tell you something. They're uneducated people. I'm saying it. You're not an educated person. You want these kids in there working these long ass hours to get cheap labor out of them. That's all it is. This is cheap labor. This is not on the behalf of the kids. They're making it look like that. This is on the behalf of the corporations. They're trying to make money for these big-ass corporations because they don't have nobody to work, because they had all the migrants working for them. But let me tell you something. Some of these jobs, kids are not going to do. And in Florida, like I said, if you don't have a car, you don't have a vehicle, then you can't do this stuff anyway. You can't work. Where you going to work at? What you going to do? How you going to get to work? I don't know too many parents going to get up at midnight, go pick up their kids, and got to turn around and be to work at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not doing that. No, not doing it. They are not doing it. So it's going to be interesting. Do I think it's going to pass? No, I hope it don't. I hope it doesn't pass. Let's see. Let's hope it doesn't pass. Let's see. And the kids can start as early as 5:30 in them and end as late as midnight. Work more than 8 hours on a school night. So this 5:30 a.m. must be on the weekends, because you can't work at 5:30 a.m. and go to school. Work more than 6 days a week without rest. Work without guaranteed breaks, days off. That's bullshit. That's just, I'm gonna call it what is bullshit. No. Florida Republicans say some business groups, Governor DeSantis, they want to make this happen. No, you're crazy. You're crazy. Fatigue, academic. This is what the problems are going to be. Fatigue, academic failure, injury on the job, exploitation, especially from low-income and migrant undocumented youth. That's what they're going to do. The Guardian. Quote, it's insane, right? Labor organizer on teen workers replacing deported labor. So, yeah, this is bad business. This is a bad deal. And then if you're 16 doing this, you're probably a junior in high school, or maybe a sophomore. You got 3 more years. You're not going to graduate. You're going to drop out of school, work this bullshit job, and never make any real money. You're never going to make any real money. I'm trying to figure out what's the minimum wage in Florida. Let me see. What is minimum wage? What is minimum wage in Florida? What is the minimum wage in Florida? Minimum wage in Florida is $13 an hour for non-tipped employees and $9.98 for tipped employees. Ooh, it was like $7 when I was there. The rate has been in effect since September 30th, 2024, following voter-approved amendment in 2020 mandates annual increases of $1 until the minimum wage reaches $15 in 2026. The next scheduled increase will be September 30th, 2025, major rate minimum wage to $14 an hour. For non-tipped employees, $14 an hour. Tip wage employees will be making $9.98. So that's how much they're going to make, which is pennies. So if a kid works $13 an hour, let's do this math real quick. Let's do the math. So let's see. Let's get this math out. Let's get this math together real quick so we can get to see. Let's see how much it's going to be. How much you're going to make. How much is your take home going to be? What the hell is my calculator? Where's my calculator? Oh, there it is. Being an asshole. Why you don't want to show yourself? Okay, let's see. $13 an hour times 30 equals $390. So $390. You're going to be messing around with your education for $390. Times 2 equals $780. $780 is the most that you can make. Now let's take out taxes, 30%. So let's give them, say $740. $740. So you work at $13 an hour, 40 hours. No, excuse me. $13 an hour times 30 hours equals $390 times 2, because you get paid every 2 weeks. 30 hours, 60 hours a week is $780. You're making $780. That's nothing. That is nothing. And you know they're going to pay these kids the bones. They're going to pay these kids the bottom of the barrel, little bit of money. Nothing. They're not going to pay them that much money. They're not going to pay them that much. I'm trying to tell you. And you're going to have a whole bunch of kids that are going to grow up, no education, working these BS jobs, and they're going to stay there forever. And then you're going to have other companies that are going to try to make changes so they can get these undocumented kids. As soon as you turn 18, it's all over. As soon as you turn 18, it's all over. And once you turn 18, fair game. They can make you work as whatever you want, however you want, all that stuff. But I know I used to play that game. I used to have to be out by 10 o'clock. What are the current child labor laws in Florida? Let's see. What are the current child labor laws in Florida? What are the current child labor laws in Florida? Let's see. Let's figure that out. Current child labor laws in Florida. Bullshit. Let's see. As a minors 14 and 15 can work 15 hours a week. Yes, so that was right. I used to work 15 hours a week. Not before 7 and not after 8 p.m. on school nights. I was working till 9, so I don't know about that. May work up to 3 hours per day on school days. On non-school days, may work up to 8 hours, extending until 9 o'clock. I think I used to get off at 9 o'clock. That's right. Minors 16 and 17 may work up to 30 hours per week during school session, not before 6:30 and not after 11 p.m. when school is scheduled the following day. No more than 8 hours on school days. On days without school the next day, there are no restrictions. Breaks. Minors are entitled to a 30-minute break after working 4 consecutive hours. Minors are restricted from working hazardous occupations, including but not limited to operating heavy machinery, explosives, serving alcoholic beverages, and working, mining, or roofing. I roofed. I did roofing. I did do roofing. I forgot about that. I did roofing in high school too. I roofed for something. That was hard, but a hard job. So those are the current laws. So the current laws for 16 to 17 can only work 30 hours a week. May work up to 30 hours a week during the school session. So they're going to get rid of that. You can work whenever you want. Not before 6:30 a.m. or not after 11 o'clock. So, I mean, it's not changing too much. But people are going to bend the law. Best believe it. These folks are going to try to change the law, bend the law, and have these kids out there working. But if you are a parent, if you have children, let me ask you this. Would you allow your kids to work that? Would you allow your kid to work up until midnight? 16, 17-year-old, would you allow them to work up until midnight? Would you allow them to work 8 hours straight with no break? And would you allow them to work with grown-ass people? I mean, work with adults, unsupervised, because you got all kind of crazy shysters out there working, especially little girls. I don't think little girls will be out there working. Nope. Especially not with grown-ass men. Nope. Hell no. I don't think so. If you got a son, that's one thing. Not your daughter. Your daughter shouldn't be out there doing it. I don't think young women should be out there working these hours with these grown-ass men. People are crazy. They do all kinds of stuff. They do all kind of crazy stuff. So I don't think it's a good idea. Not me personally. No, I don't think so. But drop a comment. Let me know what you think. We're going to go to break, and we're going to be right back. We're going to talk some more about child labor. Laws. We're talking about child labor laws, working these kids too hard, too much in high school. I think it's a bad idea. I think they're going to exploit the children, and then they're just going to create a whole nother workforce. You're just going to create a bunch of adults that are going to go off and do the same thing. People are going to work these BS jobs. They're not going to go to school. Grades are going to be terrible, and they're going to be working these jobs forever. You already got, listen, when you're 18, if you don't go to college, you go to the military, what you going to do? You're going to work on these BS jobs. That's it. You don't have no skill set. You got to go work on these BS jobs. Look, you're 18. If you're not going to the military, they provide training for you. You're not going to college, they provide training for you. You just got to go get a job somewhere. Where are you going to work? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Every job I had until I had out of college was a BS job. I worked at AutoZone, O'Reilly's. I worked at Subway in college. Where did I work in college? Oh, college I only worked 2 places. I only worked 3 places. O'Reilly's. I worked, no, I didn't. I didn't work there. In college, I worked at Subway. I worked at Subway for a little while. Oh, shit. I worked at Firehouse Subs, too. I worked at Firehouse Subs when I was in college, in high school, too. I worked there. Where else did I work? I worked a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. Where else in college did I work? I worked there. I worked at O'Reilly's. AutoZone was after I graduated. And Tire Kingdom. Merchants Tire. So I was working on cars in school, in college, not in high school. But that's it. I couldn't really get, those jobs were unskilled jobs, and they didn't pay me a lot of money. They paid me a decent amount, but not a lot of money. Not that they didn't pay me enough. Yeah, I had an apartment. They paid me enough to pay my rent, but I was in North Carolina. You know, it was cheap. My rent was $4.90. $4.90. I was paying $4.90 when I was living in college. When I was in college, man, I wish I had a copy of my lease. Damn it, I wish I did, but it's okay. All good. But anyway, yeah, I'm just curious to see what everybody thinks about this. Do you think it's a good idea? Drop a comment. Let me know. What would you do if this was your child? Would you allow your child to work these crazy ass hours? I personally would not. Nope, not my kid. But my parents didn't allow me to do it either. So that's what it is. They weren't let me have. They weren't about to have that. They're like, nah, school's important, and that's why I'm an accountant now, senior accountant, And I got a good job, and I can do the things I did now because they emphasized school, and that's what it was. But if they did not, if they just put work in, you need to work. Well, what kind of job are you going to get with no skills? There's only so much you can do. There's only so many places you can go. And then you got to work forever to work. You got to work a long ass time to make a decent living at some of these jobs. And let me be honest, be real. Like I said many times before, you get promoted if somebody's likes you. You don't get promoted because you're doing a good job. They don't promote you for that. They only promote you if they like you. You got to be liked to make that kind of money. Let's see. And what else? What else we got on child labor law? Yeah, I mean, hell, next thing you know, they're going to have elementary school kids out there working too. They're going to have everybody out there trying to work. I mean, 14, 15, so you're not going to even get to enjoy childhood. I mean, next thing you know, they're going to have 10 people 10 years old trying to work, which is insane. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's get this interesting news together. All right. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed today, but today was a terrible day in the stock market. A lot of money was lost. So if you haven't checked on your stocks, check on them. Check on your stocks. Check and see where everything is, because it wasn't a good day. It was not a good day for the stock market. All right, everybody. Let's get to it. Child labor laws. Drop some comments. If you want to say anything else about it, I'll love to hear about it. So just drop a comment. Let me know. Oh, got a comment. I remember paying $4.90 for rent in San Diego, California. This was the 80s. I said, what? You crazy. Oh, no. San Diego rent is $490 a day. A day in San Diego. I said, it had to be the 80s. Had to be the 80s. Okay. I said, ain't no damn way. I've been to San Diego. San Diego's expensive. Everybody I know, because my cousin used to be in the military, he used to live in San Diego. And I used to go down there and kick it with him. And one thing I know about San Diego, it's fun and expensive. San Diego got all that pretty water, stuff like that. Man, like them cats in the military, they haul ass. They get up out of there like, man, my money can go further. Let me get up out of here. Now, like a lot of military people live in San Diego when they're in the military, but when they get up out of there, they leave or they go out the outskirts, Temecula, other places. They go other places. I know Temecula. There's other surrounding areas, but people get up out of San Diego. $4.90 is not bad. Stocks on sale. They are on sale if you're buying them, but if you got them, you're losing your money. Oh, it was the 90s. Not the 80s. Okay, I'll say damn. Josh had an apartment in the 80s. What shit? Josh, how old was Josh? Okay, but yeah, man. San Diego's expensive. San Diego costs. I like it, but I wouldn't stay there. I love LA. I would never move to San Diego. No, sir. And the flights are expensive as hell coming out of San Diego's airport. They cost too much money. Not doing that. But anyway, let's get to it. Interesting news. Here I go. Okay. So, all right, let's get to it. Interesting news. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're not watching, please, if you are watching, thank you for watching. If you're not, make sure you tune in to Cheap Not Broke Live. Cheap Not Broke Live. We are live, everybody. If you're not watching, tune in. I'm talking to people on Instagram. Y'all need to watch. I need some more followers. Let's get to it. Interesting news. All right. Okay, let's get to it. Interesting news. What we got today, Margo? What we got today? All right. Blue States. Here we go. All right. Nope, that's not it. Let me get to the story. All right. Excuse me. Shoppers may need to buy these items quickly before Trump's tariffs kick in. A man trying to make us poor, man. He's trying to break us down. He's trying to make us poor. That's what he's trying to do. Trying to make us poor. All right. Americans will likely have to pay more for at the supermarket counter within the coming days, with higher prices on everything from sneakers to sneakers. I'm about to buy me some sneakers. I gotta go buy me some sneakers to furniture. Cars could be felt in a matter of weeks following President Trump's tariff rollout. Trump's announcement on Wednesday triggered fears of a global trade war and sent stocks on Walmart tanking. stoking economic uncertainty and leaving consumers with questions. Man, get to the stuff that people should buy. I don't care about that. Where's the list? Where's the list of things that people should buy? All right. Well, they're not even talking about that. Well, I already told you this. I'm looking at the wrong camera. What you call it? Strawberries are up $6. Eggs are up. I don't know about milk. Beef is gonna go up. Fruit is gonna go up. A lot of our fruit is imported. So if you like avocados, they come from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. I don't know if you've seen the commercial. They might just play that out here in California. But avocados are gonna go up. Damn, what else is coming up? We get bananas. Bananas come from Brazil. Fish. I know a lot of our fish, sea bass, Chilean sea bass, that comes from Chile. So a lot of stuff is important. Let's not act like America makes everything. Some stuff we just don't produce, and some stuff we don't do it the cheapest. If America was so good at that, then we would be self-sustaining and we would be making our own stuff. We wouldn't need to import nothing. If America made everything cheap, why would we need to import anything? So that's not true. The 10% across the board tariffs begin Saturday, with higher reciprocal tariffs against nation's largest trading partners going into effect Wednesday. Dr. Sung Wong Song, a distinguished economist at Loyola University in Los Angeles, told the Post, grocery items are imported will be more expensive in the short term. We import 80% of avocados. I just said that, and I didn't even read it. 80% of avocados that we consume in America, and those perishable items, so they will be continuously more expensive. That means sushi's going up, because sushi's in avocados and sushi. Someone said the other staple items that U.S. doesn't produce domestically, such as coffee, tea, bananas. I knew bananas. Bananas come from Brazil. Boy, I smart boy. And will also become more expensive rather quickly. Trump also slapped 25% on all imported vehicles. That began Thursday with a 25% levy on automakers. Well, the banks are going to be crying soon because people are going to buy less cars and you're not going to have less loans. So it's a lot of people going to be messed up by this. And he's a billionaire. Everybody else has billionaires. All his buddies are billionaires. They don't give a damn. This is for poor people, middle class people. I'm going to say not middle class, last class. Because that's what we are, the last class. All right. Trump's tariffs could cost households a near $3,800 extra this year. Come on. That looks like his signature looks like a Klan rally, don't it? Somebody said that, and I see it now. It do look like a bunch of Klansmen. President Donald Trump, let's see. After incorporating these tariffs, the average effective U.S. rate will soar to 22.5%, the highest level since 1909. When combined tariffs with Trump taxes has already enacted on steel, aluminum, and auto parts, translating into 2.3 percentage points increase overall inflation this year, to research from the lab. Oh, man. It's gotten dark already? Shit. The inflation is currently at 2.8% above Federal Reserve's target 2.0, and the projected increase will bring the total rate to its high level since pandemic total. So, ladies and gentlemen, stuff's about to get more expensive out here. It's about to cost a lot more money. Buckle up, hanker down, get what you need. And remember, pay attention to how much stuff costs. Pay attention, because you don't want to be overpaying for stuff. So you might have to go get your stuff somewhere else. Just the place you might be buying it may not be as cost effective as getting it somewhere else. So you might want to consider going to buy your stuff somewhere else. Let me get back to the camera. You might want to consider going somewhere else, buying some of your stuff. Oh, Josh Brown, you live in Vegas now. Okay, Vegas. I love Las Vegas. Right around the corner from me. Oh man, I can't wait. Vegas. It's hot out there yet? Is it hot? Because Vegas is the two extremes. Vegas gets cold as hell in the winter and hot as hell in the summer. Vegas is two extremes, real cold and real hot. Don't be fooled. Vegas ain't hot year round. Don't be fooled by that. But yes, everything's going to be going up. So consider that. Take note of what you're paying for certain things because you might need to go get it somewhere else. Let me tell you something. When Walmart's no longer the cheapest place, we're off. We are screwed. We're screwed. When Walmart is no longer the cheapest place to buy stuff, we are in a jam. And I'm not going back to the flea market to buy none of my stuff. And I like the farmer's market, but they be trying to farm me. They be trying to make me pay too much money for that farmer's market crap. I don't do that farmer's market stuff. It's cool. I go buy a few things here and there. I go to farmer's market, buy a little bit of that. But that's it. The farmer's market be trying to tax you. And I'm not a fan of that. I don't like the farmer's market trying to overcharge me and all that other stuff. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about that. But just pay attention to that when you look into the camera and tell y'all. Start paying attention to how much you're paying for certain things, okay? And decide, do you need it? Now, your groceries, you don't have no choice on that. Avocados, you might want to get cucumbers instead of avocados. I know cucumbers ain't going to go through the roof, but avocados are expensive. I don't really eat avocado unless it's in my sushi. Other than that, I don't do it. I hate guacamole. It's nasty. I don't eat it. Oh, what's the temperature out there? 70s, 80s during the day, 60s at night. Oh, okay, it's still a little chilly out there. And then in the summertime, it's 100 during the day, 105 at night. Why heat up during the nighttime? I don't know. It's Vegas. But that's what it does out there. Okay, let's get back to our stories. Shall we? Shall we, good people? Shall we? Thank y'all for tuning in. If you just tuned in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're talking about child labor laws tonight. If you missed it, but we are on to interesting news right now. All right, let's get back to this news. Ex-Rippling worker confessed he spied on employer for Ex-Rippling worker confessed he spied on employer for rival firm deal, and James was paid $5,000 a month to be like James Bond. I'll spy on somebody for $5,000 a month. Sign me up. A tech worker confessed to being recruited by a CEO of a rival company to spy on the firm where he worked in a pilot hatched right out of the James Bond movie, according to court documents. Keith O'Brien, who worked for San Francisco-based software company Rippling, claimed he was paid more than $5,000 a month by Deal co-founder and CEO Alex Buazaz, I don't know how you pronounce that, to remain at Rippling's satellite offices in Ireland and attempting to land a deal at Job at Deal, according to the affidavit made public in Irish court Wednesday. Alex told me he had an idea. He suggested that I remain at Rippling and become a spy for Deal, and I recall him specifically mentioning James Bond. Well, that's why he signed no-compete clauses. About 30 minutes later, I called Alex back over WhatsApp, and he told me I was on board with the plan, O'Brien said. Rippling last month filed a lawsuit against Deal alleging racketeering, misappropriation of trade secrets, tortious inference, unfair competition, as well as aiding and abetting a breach of fiduciary. Rippling and Deal, which specialize in HR operations, are both valued at over $10 billion with a B dollars. The high-profile corporation espionage case included allegations of O'Brien using encrypted text messaging apps with self-deleting messages and an escape plan to flee Dubai to Dubai to avoid arrest after being uncovered in a honeypot trap by Rippling court records show. Damn, spying on the job for $5,000? Sign me up. I'll take that risk. Yes, sir. But y'all gonna get me out here early now. And I'm going to need a buyout clause. Look, I'm going to need a lump sum. We can't just do $5,000 a month. I'm going to need my money on the first of the month. On the first. And in my last month, I'm going to need y'all to pay it up front. So let's say you got me signed up for 3 months and this thing blew up in 4. You're going to have to pay me for that 5th month. You're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay me. I'm not about to be taking a risk and y'all not paying me my money. Now, I'm not advocating for spying or anything, but hell, to do it for company. Now, I don't know if he's going to go to jail for this, but he might. I don't know. He alleges the communication methods were carefully chosen. Code words were used to arrange payments in encrypted Telegram channels with self-destructing messages as established. So if they're going to pay you $5,000 to spy, I'll do it too. Apple loses $31 billion in market value as Trump tariffs threaten China-heavy supply chain. Damn, I got stock in Apple. Apple lost a whopping $311 billion in market valuation trading Thursday, leading to a magnificent 7 rout wiped out more than $1 trillion in market bloodbath over fears that President Trump's reciprocal tariffs will hammer supply chains. The iPhone maker's shares plummeted more than 9%. I need to check my shares. More than 9%, heavier than expected. Damn. Well, that's not good. I didn't even check my stocks today. This included a 54% tariff on goods rated. Wait, a 54% tariff rate on goods imported from China, where Apple makes majority of its products. Apple's smart. They're like, we're not paying this. We're not paying this for y'all. Man, these tariffs are tearing everybody ass up, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's not a good thing. Oh man. Yeah, I just checked my stock. I lost quite a bit of money. It's tough. But anyway, this supply chain is all messed up. All effed up. All effed up, man. I don't know what to say about that. And let's see. Let's check out entertainment. Sure shits and giggles. Anybody got anything going on entertainment news? I'm not really an entertainment guy. Nope, we don't want to talk entertainment news. I have to go find that another date. But yeah, that's what we got. So these tariffs are really about to hit. They're really about to hit everybody. And then everybody got fired, lost their jobs. So we're going to see. Summer months can be brutal. Oh, I already know. Summer months are tough. But that's why I like Vegas. It be hot outside. You be sweating outside in the middle of July. It just feels so toasty. Feels like Florida without the child labor laws. I invested in S&P 500. It was definitely on sale today. I'm going to look and see what else is on sale. I might have to go buy me something up. I got some money because I sold some NVIDIA. So I got some money sitting around. I might have to go get that. But yeah, man, this is bad. So what do y'all think about this? If you have kids, no kids, you got an aunt, you got a niece or nephew, cousin, whoever, whatever you got. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about the child labor? What do you think long term? We're going to have a nation full of dummies. Like I said and I think it was the last week's live or a week before, one of the two, last 2 weeks. America is looking for a bunch of uneducated, unskilled people to make these billionaires rich. Anytime you're dealing with the public, anytime you're dealing with somebody face to face at a restaurant, they're not making a lot of money. Unskilled labor. You're going to at the airport, at the counter, unskilled labor. Baggage claim. The people who handle the bags, unskilled labor. You go to retail, you go to the mall, you go to Staples, you go to these people, unskilled labor. Any people that you deal with face to face, unskilled labor. And what are they working for? $billion corporation. And what do they pay? Pennies on the dollar. You can't get to be Amazon, get to be that big, paying people decent salaries. You just can't do it. They're trying to screw us over. Hell, we're going to be the new migrants with what they paying around here. So people are going to have to do something about this. I hope this bill in Florida fails. I really hope it fails because they're not valuing education. America hasn't valued education. Last time I remember America caring about education was when George Bush was in office. No child left behind. Obama didn't run on education. Trump didn't run on education. Biden didn't run on education. Nobody's giving a damn about education since like the early 2000s. Nothing. They're getting rid of the Department of Labor. Okay, cool. How are we going to make our students smarter? How are we going to compete with all these other nations who are educating their kids? You know, them kids in China, a lot smarter than us. We value education over here. We value entertainment. We do not value education. Well, what does that say? These kids are going to be working a bunch of BS jobs, not making money, and the cycle continues. People are going to be fourth, fifth generation broke. You know, some people have been here. Your grandparent, your great-great-granddaddy was here. Look, I know my great-granddaddy, 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 my granddaddy, my dad, me, and then maybe his father. So that's 5 generations. I can think of 5 generations. We still haven't made it to the millionaire status yet. I'm on my way, though. I'm on my way. I told my grandfather before he passed away, I'm going to make $1 million. And I'm still going to make my $1 million. I told him that, and I'm going to do it. I'm on my way to make my $1 million. But at the same time, people are going to have been here 100 years and still ain't making no money. We got to end that. And these kids going into these jobs, I'm trying to tell you, it's not going to put you on track to become a millionaire. And it's pennies on the dollar. $7.90 is what you're going to make. Probably $7.40 after taxes. That's how much you're going to make. Florida don't pay no damn money. Florida don't. They're not going to pay these kids no money. And only people who are going to be out there are low-income families who need the money. Low income. That's it. It's only going to be certain families out there. A lot of kids ain't going to be doing it. And you think your teacher's going to give a damn that you had to work till midnight and cut you a break? Absolutely not. She's not going to care. F. They're going to give you F. You're going to fail. Now you're going to look. We're not going to see the residual effects of this until 2 or 3 years. Kids are falling behind, not doing well in school. Test scores are down. Reading is down. Math is down. And then you don't have enough skilled people to work these jobs. It's going to blow up. It's going to blow up, everybody. I'm trying to tell you. It's going to blow up. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. But I will say this about working. Do I think teenagers should work? Yes, I do think you should work. During the summer, maybe not during the school year, depending on what you got going on with your situation. But if you got a lot of programs, you got a lot of stuff going on, you're a scholar in college, in high school, you're part of student government, you probably shouldn't work. You probably should just keep doing what you're doing. But you should get that idea because everybody has to work. Even these billionaires, they got all this money. 100 millionaires, billionaires. These people are still going to work. They're still going to work. Jeff Bezos still takes his ass to work. Elon Musk still works. Bob Johnson still works. Robert Smith, billionaire, black billionaire, look him up. Still works. So it don't matter how much money you get, you still work. Very few people make enough money and just say, quit. I'm not going to do nothing else. I'm just going to let my money work for me, and I'm just going to chill. Very few people do that. A lot of people keep on working. Don't matter how much money you get, you keep on working. We're a nation of working, of just working people. And like when I go out the country and I travel, so they have something called holiday in like England and other places, other nations, like European nations. So when kids graduate from high school, they go on holiday. Well, what do? They go travel the world for a year. Their parents pay for it, and they go travel the world for a year, take a break, then they get back to school. That's what they do. That's when I have kids, I plan to do that for my kids. I want to be able to send them on holiday. After you get out of school, I pay for you to go do whatever you want to go do. You want to go travel? I got it. I got you. Go. I'll pay for it. Go do it. They go do it. And these kids stay out for months. They go travel the world for months. Every trip I've been on internationally, I've met somebody out of high school, in college, on break, just traveling around. And they always ask, yeah, Mike, why do you Americans work so hard? You Americans are always working. You work all the time. Always working. I can't, it's a bloody mess. My English accent has deteriorated. My English accent used to be really good, but it's not good. I haven't been practicing it. But they always ask us, why do you guys work so much? And then when I meet these people, they're out on holiday. They're out traveling for like a month and a half. Americans, 2 weeks, take your ass back. If you got that kind of job. Some jobs, you can't even be gone 2 weeks. They don't give you enough time for vacation or you just don't make enough money. So some jobs, you can't even be gone that long. But we work a lot. America is a nation of working ass people. They work us to death. They want you to work till you're like 65 years old. By the time that is, all your good years are going up. In a perfect world, you'll be done working at 50. Now you got some time, 45, 50. Then you got some time to go out and enjoy yourself. You know, frolic, play around, and all that stuff. Now you got some real time to go do some things. That's what you really want. You want to get done young enough working where you can really go out and enjoy yourself, spend some money, spend some time. But that's not what they do here in America. They work the shit out of you, and then by the time it's done, you don't want to do nothing, or your body starts breaking down, or you're just not in the best of health to go travel the world. I know. I've seen it. I've seen people. I've known people. My family, friends, other people who just aren't in the same situation to go travel, go do what they want to do now because their health ain't where they need to be. But if they would have been able to stop working at 40, they could have been jet setting. Been doing other stuff. So I encourage everybody on this call, make sure you make enough money. Figure out when you want to call it a day. Look, you see senior citizens out there working. You see somebody that's your grandmother's age, your grandfather's age, out there working. Walmart, Target, gas stations. You seen them. You seen them out here working. They need the money, and these people are well overworking it. Now I don't know if they took care of their money. That's here nor there. But these people, there are people who are senior citizens who have to still work. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Now everybody, my family, I've seen it. They all work. They all done. My family, they retired. When you get to about 50, 60, they're done. My aunts and uncles, parents, they're done. My grandparents, we're done. I didn't see nobody working in their 60s. They're all done. All done. Nope, we're done. No more work for us. But you got to be in a place financially. You got a lot of kids now with student loan debt. And student loan debt is going to be kicking your ass. You're going to be having $1,000 student loan debt in your senior citizen years. You're trying to pay it off. Now your credit's shot. You can't do nothing. And when you get to that age, it's really hard to try to go get that money. You want to go get that money while you can in your young years when you're working hard. You can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's when you want to go do it. You want to go work at that time to go get that money. So consider that. Don't work yourself to death. Don't do that. And don't put your kids out there working too. You put your children in a better situation so they can really make some money. So they don't have to work that hard. You don't want your kids doing the same things that you do. And one thing my parents stressed for me was they put me in a better situation than where they were. And they did. I'm in a way better situation. Now, hell, they're in a better situation than me. But they put me in a better situation where they were at their age, where I'm at now. I think they're doing better than me where I'm at right now. But I'm not doing bad. But my parents were doing better than me. But here nor there. They put me in a situation to win. Put your kids in a situation to win. And working some BS job is not going to put you in a situation to win. I'm trying to tell you, it's not going to happen. So that's what I got for you. That's what I got for you, everybody. Cheap Not Broke live on a Thursday. Cheap Not Broke live on a Thursday. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause for coming in tonight. We appreciate everybody coming in. We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody coming in. Give us a round of applause. It's been a great week. Stuff is about to go up. Hey, remember, pay attention to what you're paying, because food is what you got to consume. All that other garbage, you don't have to go buy a car if your car's running, but you do got to eat. You do got to consume food. So be cognizant of that. Be cognizant of that. Get you a price tracker, a budget list. Next week, I think I'm going to talk about the budget. I'm going to get back on this budget talk. Once a month, I'm going to talk budget stuff. I got to get back into the budget. I'm going to get back in. I'm going to work on my budget sheet this weekend, and I'm going to talk some budget next week. So we're going to talk budget. Make sure I write that down so I know about to talk about budget. But we're going to talk about budgeting this next week, because times are tough and people need to know where the hell their money's going. So we're going to talk budget this weekend. I got 4 people watching right now. 4 people watching. Please, everybody, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Josh Brown, Phyllis Hall, thank you. And we got a super chat tonight, everybody. Got the super chat. Got a $2 super chat. Thank you, Phyllis Hall. My mom, you know, that's nothing like your mom. Your mom let you send me some money. Got me a $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we're going to be back on Monday night. So thank you all for tuning in. Got some new videos coming. I keep telling y'all that, and I keep working. Man, I'd be busy. It'd be hard. But I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to sit down and do some editing this weekend and get some stuff out there for you. Get some other content out there for you. Cheap Not Broke is more than me just going live. Also, I forgot last night. Flower Bed Funnies. Please tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Flower Bed Funnies, April 11th. I got Whoop Savell, Dello Brown, Daisy Gonzalez, Andre Brady, John Grimes, and yours truly, Malcolm Hall. I'm the host with the most. All the ladies that attend will be getting a flower that night. So make sure you attend the show. Okay? Make sure you attend. It's very much appreciated. And we're going to be back. Shout out to my person watching on Twitch. I see you. Thank you for tuning in on Twitch. That is very much appreciated. And I said, Jay, thank you to Josh Brown. Thank you, Phyllis Hall. And everybody else, thank y'all for tuning in. And we're going to be back next week. Next week, we're talking budgets. How to budget your money so you don't get screwed over by these tariffs. We don't want that. All right? We don't want that. All right, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back next week. Same time, same place. See ya. Take care. Have a good, safe weekend.